Welcome to Threads and Tales of New York City, a podcast about the unique men and women of New York City as inspiration for your lifestyle and your personal style. My guests are native New Yorkers or New Yorkers at heart. Today, let's get an introduction to our guests. So what's your name and introduce yourself?
Okay, hi. My name is actually Marvin. I am originally from South Africa, living in New York City for about 10 to 12 years now. Really passionate about New York City. One of the reasons that I'm actually here is because of the bright lights, as we all know. But I've been here for about 10 to 12 years. Yeah.
So New Yorker at heart.
New Yorker at heart, 100% New York at heart,
Yes.
including the rude attitude at times.
Okay, so when did you realize New York City was your home?
So I had actually been here back and forth between here and Florida just to try and figure out what was actually going on. Where do I see myself a little bit more? I actually got into it a little bit more when I got here for Pride.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. What actually happened was, I think it was close to around about Pride time, about maybe 10 years ago, where I came into New York City and it was just full of extravagant people and exciting fashions and everybody was just like looking nice. There's something. And it was one of those things where just the atmosphere and the people and the fashion that just like kind of hooked me, and it was just like, I think I need to be here. I need to be here. The energy. I just need to be here. I just need to be here.
Okay, so what do you love about New York City?
So there's so many things that you have to even think about when you think about like loving New York City, right?
Yes.
Like for instance, like where we're sitting, beautiful park,
Yes.
spaces to just like be outside of like the hustle and bustle of New York City. That's also like one of the amazing things about New York City. It's just like, even though it's so strung up and like a little bit more crazy, but there's always all these beautiful places to go out and see.
Yeah.
I mean, I bike around the city quite a lot, so there's a lot of biking lanes and stuff like that. So that's also one of the really nice things about living in New York City.
Yes, I love that, we have so many bike lanes now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just makes it, I mean, it's a little bit easier for us to like maybe get around even. Maybe you don't necessarily have to take public transportation, especially on a beautiful day like today. You just want to be out and about. It's beautiful.
So there's this belief that if you stand in Times Square, you can meet anyone in the world.
In the world?
Who is your most international friend or the most interesting international person that you know?
There's so many.
I know.
Because you live in New York City, you meet so many dynamic people from all different places around the world. And I also work in nightlife, so it's like, there's so many different places. Let's see. Oh, not putting anybody on the spot or anything.
No.
But like for real, like there's a lot of different people. Like I've met people from Belize, which is like amazing because the culture is very like a little bit similar to South African culture. The weather's also very similar to that. But my most outrageous friend that I've never even thought I could possibly meet is his Billy Ray, all the way from oh my god, what is this place? Caracas or something like that.
That's so interesting.
Caracas, I'm like, where is that? Like
Yeah.
like there's a lot of places like I didn't even know that I knew about. Like there was like Belize is one of them. Puerto Rico, I didn't have any clue about where Puerto Rico was in the world. Now I know everything about Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, like Thailand, all these different places that you could just meet right here,
Yes.
It's crazy.
It's very international.
Very international for sure.
So people travel all over the world to
Mhm.
come to New York City. Let's get some recommendations
Yeah.
from you to give
Oh,
to them.
yeah.
What's your favorite place that you've been to in New York City?
So are we talking food? Are we talking just places in general?
Just in general.
Places in general, like The Edge. I know that it's like a little bit of a touristy place, but The Edge will give you such a good view of like New York City and like the surrounding neighborhoods of where it is. Like The Edge is definitely one of the places. I will also say Dykeman. Yeah, you want to have a good time in the summer. Dykeman is definitely one of the places that you want to definitely go to. Really a lot of good places if you like hookah, for
Yes.
sure.
What's your least favorite place that you've been to in New York City?
So sad. Let's see. Least favorite place. Damn, I can't even say that there's a least favorite place because everywhere you go, it's like, there's something. At least there was something,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say a lot of places. I mean, the least favorite place I can go to is the subway. That it takes too long. Don't want to be there. Finally get to where your destination is, but you're hot and sweaty.
Okay, so have you been to all 5 boroughs?
Yes, I recently just made the leap to go to Staten Island because it takes a minute for everybody to get there. But I did get there. There's a lot of like lovely places to go to.
Yes.
There's a lot of houses. Everybody got a pool. It's a totally different ball game.
And it's got a beautiful park too.
And it's also got beautiful parks. You're right. Yeah, I've definitely been to all 5 boroughs.
So, what do you think is the best borough and why?
Oh, how we gonna do this to us? I'll be honest with you. Like, I've lived in Harlem for a really long period of time, and it has definitely been the most interesting place that I've lived in with regards to fashion, with regards to music, with regards to like the people and the dynamics that you see all over the place. Definitely Harlem. I've been to a lot of different boroughs, but I think Harlem is definitely one of my favorites, hands down.
Okay.
Love me some brown people. Okay.
Are you Manhattanite? Meaning, do you hang in Manhattan more than other boroughs, either for work or for social activities?
So I would say that I'm a little bit of a Manhattanite
Yes.
because I do work in the city and then I am in nightlife as well. So I'm working in the city as well. But it doesn't mean that I don't, frequent the other boroughs, but definitely more a Manhattan type of person.
Yes. Okay.
We're New Yorkers. We're New Yorkers.
So, New Yorkers have a reputation of being rude. Give me your favorite that you think is funny because it's either true or it's wrong, and explain why.
We're not rude.
We're not.
We're not rude.
Yes.
I will say that if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, if you're living in a space where people are working constantly, I'm working. I'm going to work.
Yes.
I'm not being rude when I say get out of my way when you're standing and looking at the buildings. I see the buildings every day. Like, I want to just get by. I want to get by. And so I feel like when you are working in a place where a lot of people are coming to visit, it might seem like the New Yorkers are rude because we want to get where we need to go. We're getting to work. If you want to go to work, you're trying to get to work. You're not going to be like, oh, I wonder what's happening out here. You know what I mean?
It's like I said, like, it could just be that we passed by 99 people. You happen to be the 100th one.
The one person.
Yeah, that just it happened to be in our way, and
Correct.
you just might get some rudeness. But
yeah, but it's still not
also,
directed at.
Yeah, but it's also in the context of how many people are here.
Correct.
So I
Very
think
much
it's
that.
because like I have visitors come here like, oh, they're surprised. If I'm lost, if I look like I'm lost, people will come and help me. Like
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, oh, I don't know how to swipe my card. No problem. I'll help you
Yes.
swipe to get in.
Yes.
If you're standing there with 700 people trying to swipe in, one of you got to get it done. Come on. So there's a little level of like where you're going to go and where you're not going to go, you know?
As New York is full of possibilities, let's talk about your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your favorite pastimes that you enjoy in New York City?
Apart from like bike riding and just like sightseeing, I do really enjoy just like watching and looking at the people.
Yes.
It is always interesting to just sit anywhere.
Yes.
I just sit for 5 minutes even.
People watching is one of the greatest spectator sports here in New York City.
Hands down. Hands down. Hands down. I love people watching for sure. It definitely gives you an insight into like, oh, I wonder what they were thinking when like they got up this morning to be like, oh, I'm going to dress like this. I'm like, yes, you better, it's always a good thing.
And sometimes it's like they have very engaging conversation. You want to know like what's going on.
What's going on? like what has sparked this interest in this fashion right this second?
Yeah. So what is your favorite thing to do on a lazy weekend in the city?
I like to just take a long bike ride down to maybe like even Central Park, go a little bit lower down to like Battery Park, find a space, blanket, relax.
Yes.
These are like lazy days away from the hustle and the bustle.
Yes.
You try and find some water, you try and find some open air, a park, relax. Breathe.
We do have a lot of beautiful waterways and beautiful parks.
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite museum or cultural institution in the city that you love to go into?
So one of the places that I recently went into was the Museum of the City of New York. Have you been?
No. Where's that?
Oh my God.
Hold on. Tell me.
Yes! So it's this museum. I think it's on like I'm gonna say 84, 85. I'll give you the address before I leave. But I was actually hired to for Pride to do like a little show there with a DJ and another queen. And so I go into this space and you know I'm about New York City, so I didn't realize that there was actually this museum. As surprised as you are, I'm surprised as well.
Because I go to like a lot. Of
I go to a lot of museums too. So I go in there and it's literally just all the history of New York City back in the day, like when it was like in 19. Look at the goosebumps. Look at the goosebumps. It's like from the 1930s, the 40s, 50s, all the way up until like 2020, 2022, like all the history of the city of New York. So that for me has been, I've been binging it. Every time I'm like, maybe I can go back there again to try and see something, you know, because you go through things and it's like, oh, I've seen this, but like, oh, I didn't see that, or I didn't see this.
You never catch everything
on the first try. Never.
So what's your favorite outdoor activity to do in New York City?
There's a lot of different things that you can actually do outside of like the hustle and bustle of New York City. Bryant Park actually has like those movie nights.
Yes.
Love a good movie night. And then even if you go down to like Brookfield like at the World Trade Center, they also have movie nights there. There's a lot of like there's spaces that you can go for drive-in. So you go with your car. Listen, every single space that I could potentially find where it's like outside of like the regular. I'm there. Yes. I'm gonna give it to you later. Just to know which one is which.
All right. What do you recommend as a hidden gem or off the beaten path thing you can do here in New York City?
Off the beaten path, like there's a lot of spaces where you can find like specific foods and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But if you can find the empanada spot, see? My favorite thing is to find like random empanada spots. So you find empanadas because it's the general consensus is the same. It is a dough that has some chicken or beef or whatever is inside of it, but everybody makes it a different way.
Yeah. It's all the flavors.
It's all the different flavors. So for me, empanadas and also pupusas. It's like pupusas is like another thing where it's like not another thing. The ultimate thing that comes out of like El Salvador, which is like these pupusas. It's like almost like this little, and I love to talk about food clearly. It's like a little about this big, about a disc, and it has like the same cheese and chicken inside of it, but it's like kind of fried where the cheese is kind of melted. Amazing.
Food. What's your favorite neighborhood and why? And it doesn't have to be the one that you live in.
I actually do like, apart from Harlem, of course, I do like the Lower East Side and the Lower West Side. Also because it's very like kind of dingy, kind of grungy, but still like has that like New York feel to it, where it's not being, dare I say it, like kind of whitewashed, where everything is like clean and dandy.
Not gentrified.
Not gentrified, where I feel like it's still like kind of, you'll still find like a dingy little bar that you can find like really good drinks in, still have a really good conversation with someone and just like leave and like not be like worried about anything. I like those, like Lower East Side for sure.
If money was no object, what neighborhood would you live in and why?
I want to be somewhere where I see a lot of things. I'll need some views. So it would either have to be like Financial District around there, because with Financial District you get to see quite a lot outside. So Financial District for sure, if money was no object. If money was still no object, up here in Dykeman, I can find the highest one with the penthouse. I'll do that too.
It's all about the views.
It's all about the views.
It's the $1 million views.
It's the $1 million views. Like even like as high as we are right here. I just took a video of like just the surrounding, and it's just like just looks so good. It's amazing.
So name up the 3 things that you recommend every New Yorker should do on their bucket list.
On a bucket list, definitely go visit the Edge, because that's definitely one of those viewpoints where it's like, wow. Try and ride the ferry at least once.
Yes.
There's a free ferry.
Yeah.
Like try the ferry, because like we always
the views are stunning.
I'm all about the views. Clearly, I love being outside. I'm about nature. But like if you think about it, like the subway is hustle bustle, downstairs, in the basement, constantly in the just take one little ferry ride outside. Let the wind hit you.
It's water,
free.
the views.
The views. I would definitely do that. So the Edge, take a free ride on the ferry, and maybe just take a bike ride. Yeah, bike ride around the city. No headphones, because you don't want to get killed. No headphones, just listen to what's also happening around the city. I love that.
So name up the 3 things that you think New Yorkers should take for granted, but people who do not live here, they think it's glamorous.
The subway. the subway, only because when it's not as glamorous as people, but because it's been so movie side,
Yes.
you know, the movies have made it to be like, oh, we're going to the subway. It's not as great as it is. It's constant like bombardment of like showtime, headaches, like people pushing, and it's like that 99th person
Yes.
is probably going to be on the subway. It's probably going to be on the subway. Yeah, I don't think that's. I mean, I love riding the subway, but it's definitely not one of the most glamorous things that you could do.
It's the most convenient way to get around, but it's not. We
take it for granted for sure, because it's like outside of here, public transportation is not as great. Like look at the Netherlands, for instance. Everybody's riding a bike.
Yes.
You want to ride a bike the whole day? No one is riding a bike in New York City the whole day. But public transportation, that's definitely taken for granted, especially when like, you know, oh, I'm only paying $2.75. Why is it so late? We're like, like
it's only $2.75.
It's only $2.75.
Think about
Relax, please relax.
Yes.
But me, the first one, be like, this delays again.
Because we're also always rushing to some place. Even
We
if
just want
there's
to
no
be
place,
there. We just want to be there.
Yes.
We just want to get there already.
Yes. So can you share a memorable night that you had in New York City?
Yes, I do love good memorable nights. The ones that you can remember. Not the blackout drunk ones.
No.
But like really good memories is been like, the last time I had a really good memory was, not the last time, but one of the times was waiting for the cast of Sex and the City, like years and years ago. And I was like, I just had given up. And I was just like, okay, I'm over this. I've been waiting for so long. I'm over it. I'm not going to wait anymore. And I took a walk, maybe 2 blocks. And Sarah Jessica Parker just rolls up and stops right in front of me. And I was like, oh my God. And she's just like, best. I was like, can't live that down after that. But it was really good. That's definitely one of them.
Celebrity sighting is not uncommon here in New York City.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like we don't get to see it. And we see it every day. There's always someone, you know, I see you with your baseball hat. I see you. I see you.
And I've seen her husband, Matthew Broderick, because they live in Washington Square Park. So I've seen him taking the train on West 4th quite a few times. Celebrities do take the train.
All the time.
Yes.
All the time.
That's the glamorous part.
That's the right. That's the thing that we take for granted. Yeah, they still be taking the train too.
Okay. So New York City is known for being one of the most expensive places to live. Let's dive into it.
Yeah.
So what do you do for a living?
So if you live in New York City and you want to live the life, there's a few different jobs that you need to do. I'm just kidding. But for me, I'm actually a technician. So I work as a technician for a company. So I fix phones and computers the entire day, which is really the ones and zeros of my life, which I love, love, love. And then on the other aspect, I actually work in nightlife also. So I work as a drag queen at different various clubs in New York City. Work as a go-go boy also. And it's just because it's such an easy space to just be yourself. You don't necessarily just need to be like, I'm only doing this and this is now my career. I'm soon to change careers also. Soon. We're just going to keep that one under wraps.
So I've always said, like, to live in New York City, you have to hustle.
Yes.
But to be a New Yorker, you enjoy the hustle.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Most definitely.
What would people be most surprised to learn about your job or your industry? Like a misconception or misinformed opinion about your industry?
So my 2 different industries we'll talk about. The one aspect of like the spaces where I work, everybody's very happy. Most of the time it is the truth. Because if you're happy to work where you're working, you're going to come to work happy because you're happy to work with the people that you're working with. So where you met me, that's a happy space. You know what I mean? And in the other aspect of it, where I work as a drag queen or I work as a go-go boy, the misconception here is that we're whores. Maybe just a little bit. I'm kidding. But no, it's just like, you know, the misconception there is that you want this attention or you're like constantly like vying for attention. It's at the end of the day sometimes just a job. You know, I enjoy working as a drag queen. I enjoy working as a go-go boy. But these are fun things that I do in the hustle that I'm trying to constantly have. But I enjoy it because as New Yorkers, we enjoy that hustle.
Yes, absolutely. Do you own or rent? And if you rent, what is the range of rent in your neighborhood?
That I have no clue. I know that I feel like all the people that live around us have been living there for like years and years and years. And so I know that like 2,000 to 2,500 like space is probably not what they're paying, but that's roundabout. I think that the going rate, I know that's definitely more. I think we kind of lucked out where we are because it's only like a 1-bedroom apartment, but it's like super spacious. When I saw it for the first time, I was like, babe, this is ours.
There's a lot of beautiful brownstones.
All over the place.
Yes, and people don't realize like how many beautiful brownstones there are in Harlem.
It's also because when you look at the outside of the building is like, oh, this is just, once you get inside, we're just gonna keep that one under wraps, okay?
So New York City has a problem with gentrification. Is your neighborhood being gentrified, and what's your opinion about this?
So many opinions about things like this. If you want me to be completely honest and transparent with you, I feel like when people come into a neighborhood, you shouldn't change the neighborhood. You should embrace the neighborhood and make the neighborhood better. Whatever the neighborhood needs. Not necessarily bringing in a Starbucks or bringing in a Whole Foods.
Yes.
Maybe instead, give us more park or something like that. So the whole gentrified situation of that, I'm not a huge fan of it, because when people move in, then you want to change the whole aspect of the neighborhood. Why would you move there in the first place? Yeah. You know what I mean? You're moving there because you are there for the culture. You're moving there because you have heard that it is such a nice neighborhood. Why go in there and complain that the music's too loud? You went there before.
Yes.
Like, you know what's going on.
This is the thing that I miss about New York City, like these neighborhoods vibe.
Right.
And every time it gets gentrified, it doesn't.
It kind of loses a lot of that. Where like you can walk through, like where I live right now. If I walk onto my block, I know that there's at least 4 groups of people sitting out having a good time, and it's just a vibe.
Yes.
I know that in other aspects of like Harlem, for instance, where that is now become like an issue. Now you're loitering. How am I loitering sitting outside of my apartment? Anyway.
Yes. We have strong opinions about
We have strong opinions about this.
Yes. But we're going to be a little bit PC about it and
We'll
not,
try.
So what is your monthly splurge of living here? Like either you go and attend events, concerts, or take classes. What is your monthly splurge? Like what is the thing that you like to spend money on?
Yeah, for me, my splurging is always going to be on me. So it's always going to be like either I find a concert that I want to really go to. But I'll be honest with you, my skincare is my splurge. Like, I love some good skincare.
Yeah.
So I'll go, and maybe I won't necessarily go get a facial, because I always feel like sometimes that like kind of messes stuff up. But I'll like go get really good products. I'll go get like a alpha beta peel or something. Make sure that I'm all nice and crispy, and then nice and juicy afterwards. Definitely skincare and myself. A good concert here and there.
There's a belief amongst transplants that everything you do here in New York City is expensive. So tell me your favorite free or inexpensive thing to do here in New York City.
Apart from walking around and people watching, because that's the most free and the most entertainment you can get.
Yes.
You
Spend it in a reality show.
It is because it's in reality.
Yes.
It's literally happening right in front of you. The most inexpensive thing that you can do is actually just go for a walk. I'll be honest with you. You can take your 275, get onto that train, get off at a random stop, and just walk. See new buildings, take your phone out, get some new pictures.
And there's no neighborhood that is dangerous.
There's no neighborhood that's dangerous.
SBS.
But that's a whole lot of hogwash.
Because I've been out 1 a.m. in the morning, and
I was just outside at 4 o'clock in the morning in full drag. No one even blinked an eye at me.
So what is something that is considered an expensive hobby?
Probably my skincare again. Expensive hobbies, like I would also say like buying a bike would be an expensive hobby, because it's like you don't want to get just any bike. You want to get a bike that you know that you're going to be able to ride, that you're going to sustain yourself on it. So
and it has to be lightweight.
And it has to be lightweight.
The lighter it is, the more expensive it is.
Right, because now sometimes you got to take the train, and then you're up those stairs with that bike, and you got to just be quick, because no one is going to stand.
No.
Because the moment you start standing, everybody gets food.
Yes. What is something that you do that people will be surprised by how affordable it is?
Actually, ordering food, like, getting food delivered. Like, I thought it was gonna be crazy, but like every Sunday, bloop, right at my door. I don't have to worry about meals for like 4 days, and it's like under $100. Like, where can you say that you've spent under $100 in 1 week for food?
My groceries more than that.
Right. So if I can be under $100 for like a whole week of food, listen, it's cheaper than you think, especially if you're buying in bulk, and you can like maybe make food for yourself too. Yeah, you don't have to eat out all the time.
Yes, and we do cook at home.
And we do cook at home almost every day.
So, what's your favorite store that you shopped in that isn't fashion?
That isn't fashion? Ooh, that isn't fashion. Is there anything that's not fashion? God damn.
Yeah.
Like food, maybe?
Food, skincare.
Definitely skincare.
Yeah.
Listen, if I can find Dr. Peter Thomas Roth and Dr. Dennis Gross, those two, I know they're here in New York City. If I can find them, oh my goodness, that would be it. Because that skincare is like, it's expensive, but like, it's worth it. I think it's worth it.
My splurge is getting facial, so
Right.
it's all about skincare.
It's all about skincare. At the end of the day, you still have to take all your drag off and you still have to look at yourself in the mirror.
As New York City is one of the fashion capitals of the world, let's talk about fashion.
Mm.
What's your favorite thing about the New York City fashion scene?
So in the New York City fashion scene, one of the things about it, it's vibrant. It's ever changing. It's never stagnant. Like today there'll be definitely something, but someone will maybe just tweak it just a little bit and make it a little bit more for them. So now it's turning into something else. I really do enjoy like the fashion aspect of it, where it's like changing constantly.
Yes. What do you think that sets New York City's fashion scene apart from other cities?
I feel and pardon my language, the no fucks given attitude about, I'm gonna wear this because I think it's nice. I'm gonna wear this because I feel it's fashion.
Yes.
I'm gonna fuck what you say. I think that is like what makes it so different, because in other spaces where you go, it's like, oh, here's the norm and this is what you should be doing. And then let's just, veer off the path just a little bit. Whereas in New York, it's like,
Yes.
here it is. And it still looks good.
Yes. It's all about style.
All about style, yeah.
What's the best piece of fashion advice that you ever received?
My best piece of fashion fashion advice that I was ever given, it was just like, be more original, or just be yourself when wearing your stuff. Be confident in what you're wearing, because no one can wear it like you. And I was like, oh, that's some good information right there, because literally, like, wherever you wear, no one is going to wear it the way that you wear it, Because
I always say, like, fashion, people don't get it. It's just like your self-expression is the way you want to present yourself.
Yeah.
So however you introduce yourself and however you want to project the way you want to represent yourself, you can do it. It's fine. No one's going to judge you here in New York City.
No. And it should be, no one's going to judge you full stop. I agree. No one's going to judge you full stop. But I don't think that it should ever be an issue of like pushing the boundaries when you want to just express yourself in clothes.
Yeah.
It's fabric.
Yes.
Flat pieces of fabric until you put it on.
Yes. And it should be fun.
And it's always fun.
Yes.
It should always be fun.
Do you have a favorite designer or brand that you always wear?
I'll be honest with you, I do take a lot of aspects from different places and people. Specific brands, no. I love Moschino just a little bit too much. But I do have a few different pieces from them where it doesn't look like, but it's just because it looks so nice and grungy, and like it kind of looks old and worn in, and just like, this is how I want fashion to be. Like, I just want it to be like super relaxed and just high fashion all the time. But relax.
Yes. Tell me the 3 must-haves in your closet that define your personal style.
So I will definitely say a wide leg pant. I love a good wide leg pant if I'm either making it myself or trying to find like a linen or a cotton one. Those are definitely one of the things that definitely a tank top, but like not just a regular tank top. Like, there's like, it kind of goes right off the shoulder, kind of gives like a little, I like a good tank top. And then something mesh. Always something mesh. Like just one piece, something mesh. Even if it's a skirt, just like a mesh skirt. Put it over your jeans.
Yes. Are you an online shopper or a retail shopper, and why?
So I tend to be more of a retail shopper because I like to see what I look like in the clothes. So I'll go and look at different clothes like that. If, say, for instance, I can't find it in a store, I will go online, but I'll probably buy like a small, a medium, and a large, and then just return. But I'm like, it's all that like back and forth. It's just like, it's also not sustainable for me to just be like, why are we spending so much on this? But, so I'd rather go into the store and see what it looks like.
Yes.
That way you could also get a gist of like, where does the shoulder actually fit? Like, is it over here? Is it over here?
I like trying on things in person.
Yeah, I like that much better.
So what's your favorite clothing store to shop in?
Clothing store to shop in, I love Uniqlo because it's like clean, precise. They get the shit right all the time. Like, their basics are...
They fit you.
They fit. It's just like the way that it fits, fabric, the texture. Uniqlo, for sure.
Okay. Have you ever had a fashion disaster ambassador here in New York City, and can you share the story?
I don't like those. Fashion disasters are my least favorite thing. I was out and about, and I like wearing wide leg pants because I'm always moving and dancing, whatever the case is. But then this pants was lighter, and it was like very light, and then it got spilled on. Fashion disaster because it was light.
Yes.
And then when I spilled something on it, was like kind of red, so it kind of looked like a what is it, like a red wine stain all down my leg, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go home now. I literally just did this one picture. I said, well, that was the day, and that was all I posted for the day. Fashion disasters on that, like especially because if you're traveling, if you are living in New York City, you're not living in the city. Either you're going to take a backpack with you or you're taking a bag with your like other bag. And sometimes you don't want to do all that, you know? And so it's just like, well, I guess this is it. This is the look. Cheese.
What's your go-to outfit for the day?
My go-to is always going to be something that's like super comfy because I'm probably going to just hop onto my bike. So it's like sneakers, a barely there shorts, and like a tank top, and then just fly after that. Gone.
So do you have a style or fashion icon that you like?
There's so many people that I want to embody most of the time as Prince. So it's like that very masculine and feminine energy that he was like kind of giving. I love that. Like every day I want to look as
So this is like also very interesting because right now in Asia, right, there's a lot of like actors and K-pop artists that are going with that androgynous.
It's very androgynous where like
I love it.
I love it too.
Yes.
It's like one day I just want to get up and wear a skirt. Are you going to be okay with that? I don't give a shit.
Yes.
We're going to do it.
Yes. So can you share a time where you wore an outfit that you felt particularly confident? It just made you feel good.
Oh, yes. So I had these wide leg pants from, I want to say it was like a Gucci pair of wide leg pants, almost like a linen-y situation. You know how they always have like this very like free flowing? So it was the wide leg pant and these like Nike shoes, but like these tan Nike shoes with this like very nice linen pant. Oh, and then it was like this really silky tan, like almost like very silky. You couldn't tell me anything. You couldn't tell with my Gucci sunglasses. I was like, I couldn't like. It was like I felt like royalty. You couldn't touch me. I was just like, yes, bitch, word. Yes, I look good. Thank you. Like, yes, I'll have another. Thank you.
Yes, that's good. Owning your look.
That is most of it, where if you own your look, or as I said before, like when you are just like being yourself in what you're wearing, no one can really say anything because I've already got the confidence to be like, I know this tank top looks good. Yes, these pants look nice. Yes, these shoes look good because I picked them out. Yes.
So there's ever a growing problem with fast fashion and the harmful impact on the environment. So let's talk about sustainable practices in fashion. What are your thoughts about the impact of fashion brands, greenwashing practices, and the overconsumption of fashion by consumers and what it has in the environment?
Such a loaded question.
I know.
Such a loaded question. So there's a lot that comes from fashion because we constantly want more. But what happens to the rest of the stuff that we like? No, we don't want. You know what I mean? So it's like a question of like, do we change that and upscale it or upcycle it to try and make it a little bit more different? I would rather do that than to be just like throwing that completely to the wayside. Because then at that point, like, what are we going to do with the rest of these fabrics? You can also, break down these fabrics, maybe make new fabrics out of it. So there's a lot of ways that we could potentially go towards doing things where it's going to be making fashion a little bit more sustainable in the long run for us, because we are all going to be living in these clothes for the foreseeable future.
And the other thing is, you don't have to buy everything or because some fashion influencer told you to.
Very true, very true. Just because it looks nice on them doesn't necessarily mean it would look nice on everybody. You need to be able to put the clothes on, feel what it feels like. You don't have to buy every single fashion trend. It's not about fashion, it's about style.
Exactly.
It's about style.
Yes.
You can see a lot of fashion, but you can have the stylish eye to be like, that's just going to be a fashion fade, but I'll take this because this is good style.
Yes.
Right.
In your opinion, what is the most concerning thing about greenwashing practices? Because there's a lot of fast fashion brands that are using lovely, lovely, lovely terms. It's still bad practice.
I'll be honest with you, when it comes to stuff like this, it's very like if you are in the industry and you know what you're doing and you know where this is going, you should take more accountability for it. You should. With all these practices and all these fancy names that you want to call it, it is still what it is.
Yeah, transparency.
Just be transparent about it. It's not like we don't know that, oh my God, once the rain comes down, the water goes there and then the water goes there and then eventually it comes back to us. Be transparent about where these fashions are going and what's happening with it. Maybe we could do something else about it.
Sure. So when it comes to sustainability in fashion,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that it's solely the responsibility of brands, or do you think consumers have a part in it?
Listen, consumers as well as brands have a say in what we wear, how we wear, what we're doing with it afterwards. So everybody needs to be held accountable for it. So to that also, it's like, do I need another pair of the same pair of pants that I just bought 2 days ago?
Do you need the same 5 white shirts?
Do we really need that? Or can we just maybe do our laundry?
True. Laundry.
Can we just do laundry?
Yes.
Even though it's like one of the worst, such a pain in the butt.
But we used to do laundry like
All the time.
weekly.
Right.
And we don't. I grew up at a time where we only bought clothes like 3 times a
Like
year.
when you needed it.
Yeah, like school, your birthday, and like
And
Christmas.
maybe Christmas
Yeah.
time. Yeah, it's when you needed it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something new happening. Okay, great. Up until that point, you're going to wear them until they're not there anymore.
So it's very interesting. How do we shift the mindset of constantly like seeing new and trendy clothes, and it makes us disvalue the clothes we have?
Mm.
How do we get the people to understand, value what you have and appreciate what you have? Because chances are things are made 10 years ago, they were made better and they are made to last.
That part. I think it all comes down to if you are comfortable in yourself and you are comfortable in the clothes that you wear, you know that you don't necessarily have to have every single fad that comes out.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, I'll take that, but I don't necessarily need this. I can be like, oh, that looks like this. I could maybe zhuzh one of my outfits out and turn it into that.
Yes.
I mean, there's always like, if you're just going to take that aspect of it and just be like, well, okay, I see what you're doing there with this like kind of shape.
Mm-hmm.
I could take my belt and try and create the
Yeah.
same kind of shape.
Getting inspiration.
Right. Getting inspiration from
Yes.
it. Like I'm making something today. I literally was just walking and then I saw this like flower that looked like it was like hanging over like this. And I'm like, wouldn't it be nice to just have a sleeve that hangs over and just like, would just have such nice movement. And I was like, look at that. Just walking around in nature.
Yes. Get inspired. So with the pressure of social media, everyone wants to wear something new every day.
Mhm.
And it's really unrealistic.
It's very unrealistic.
So how do we keep up to date with fashion but not consume fashion in such a way that it becomes a disposable mindset? Discarding it, because
Right.
it's so cheap to buy something nowadays, but just realize that buying something cheap is off the back of someone who's doing slave labor.
Most likely.
Yes.
Most likely. I will be honest with that. Most likely. But there's so many different ways that you could just bring it back just a little bit.
Yes.
Like you don't necessarily have to do all this craziness when it becomes like just relax sometimes.
So they say that you could taste all the flavors of the world in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about food
Yes.
that the city has to offer.
So many choices.
What's your favorite New York City cuisine that you've had?
So I'll be honest, the one thing that I've actually had in New York City was a chicken biryani from an Indian restaurant that tasted like my mother had cooked it. Oh, so good. I really, really enjoy the Indian food in New York City. The Spanish food in like pupusas, arepas. Oh, I can go on and on. Empanadas. I really enjoy anything that has a little bit more spice to it. Jerk chicken. Oh my God. I was never introduced into like Jamaican food or anything like that until I got into like New York City. And I was like, what is this?
So many flavors.
So much flavor. And when we say flavor, it's like, it's not just heat. It's
Yeah.
flavor. You taste the different spices and you smell the different... I can go on and on about this.
Can you recommend a hidden gem restaurant that
Mhm.
more people should know about?
With regards to a lot of different restaurants, I will say that Dos Caminos on the close to St. Mark, round about there,
Okay.
like the West 4th area. It's like kind of a hidden one because it's literally like you won't see it until wait, this is Dos Caminos over here. It's like right on the corner. That's like a hidden gem because the outside seating is beautiful, but on the inside they have like a row of tables on the inside and the doors are all open and it just constantly feels like this beautiful breeze and Caribbean music playing in the background. So good. That's definitely one of my hidden gems. I go there as often as I can, which maybe if we finish in time, I'll go later.
Okay. So what's the most unique food experience that you had in New York City?
Definitely pupusas. I'd never experienced anything like that. It was like a mix for me, which was a mix between a roti, because I'm South African, so there's like a lot of Indian influence in South Africa. So a roti mixed with this like chicken and cheese mixture with this flavor, all
Combined.
so good, so good.
So many flavors.
Like so many flavors, and it's just like right in your hand and just gone. Beautiful.
So do you have a favorite bar or cocktail spot in the city?
I don't really go to a lot, but I do know that there's this place on the water on 125th. It's actually on a boat.
Really?
It's called, I can't remember right now, but I'll let you know what it is. But it's on the water. They only open from like July to like the end of August, close to September, just like the summer. But literally, like you go there, sit down, again, with the views,
Yes.
sitting with your margarita on the boat, floating. One of my favorite places.
It's all about being in the water.
Always.
What's your go-to food order and a classic New York City deli?
Oh my god, my classic New York food order has to be a spicy chicken on top, or spicy chicken with lettuce, tomato, onion, chipotle mayo inside of a roll. Wow. Salt, pepper, ketchup, and that's all one word. So good. Or even like bacon, egg, and cheese. Oh my god. Whole wheat wrap with home fries. Woo-wee. So good.
New York City deli are underappreciated.
Oh, very much so. Very much underappreciated for sure.
So do you have a favorite place that you go for specialty food, like a cake shop or some ethnic food or some cheese shop or something like that?
Ooh, don't get me started on cheese. But for food, I like there's a pudding that I like from Magnolia Bakery. That banana bread pudding. Jesus. I'll go on like a day that I'm like riding my bike down inside like the West Village or something, and like just sneak in, grab it, and go sit on the pier and eat the whole thing. So good.
So that wraps up our food. We're going to play 2 games.
Okay.
The first game we're going to talk about is an ode to New York City. And the second one is about your personal style.
Okay.
First, we're going to do your hot takes. This is a game where you select the thing that you think represents New York City and explain why.
Okay.
Pizza or bagel?
Pizza. New York pizza. New York pizza. Who doesn't have New York pizza at 3 o'clock in the morning? Have you? Everybody has. It's definitely New York. And I know the bagel too, but like pizza. Absolutely.
Hot dog or pretzel from a street vendor?
Oof. I would definitely do a pretzel from a street vendor. Pretzel, that little smokiness with all those big pieces of salt. Oh my god. Hell yeah. Crunch.
It has like that texture that you don't get from coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay, why?
You have to be a New Yorker if you don't have no coffee. How could you be a New Yorker with no coffee? We run on this stuff.
Brooklyn and Queens?
Brooklyn, hands down.
Okay, why?
Brooklyn, because look at the culture, the people, the music. They got Biggie!
Okay. Central Park or Prospect Park?
Oh, Central Park, 100%. I can sit and lay, ride, run, all the things in Central Park.
Manhattan Bridge or Brooklyn Bridge?
I love Brooklyn Bridge because you get the view of Manhattan. So even if you cross, you're still looking at the beautiful Manhattan.
Empire State Building or One World Trade Center?
One World Trade Center, because you also get a different view. You can now view from the bottom looking up at New York City. You have to think about it in like 1930s, 1920s, what it looked like back down there. Has to be that.
The views are much superior than the Empire State Building, I have to say. Governor's Island or Statue of Liberty?
Statue of Liberty again, because you get that nice view of just from the bottom all the way to the top. You get all the bridges on the side over here. You see a little bit more bridges on that side. Yes, as you can see, I'll be running all over the place.
Yes. Brooklyn Botanical Garden or New York Botanical Garden?
The Brooklyn Botanical Gardens. I think that I don't know, it's beautiful, both, but just like the variety of flowers, I feel like is a little bit better.
For me. Okay. Hudson River or East River?
Hudson River. Only because you get to see all those beautiful buildings, like also the Hudson Yard side of it, so you just get to see all of that. Absolutely.
Long Island or upstate?
So I lived on Long Island for like 3 seconds.
Okay.
Not about it. I'll go upstate any day of the week. If you just take a train ride for like 20 to 30 minutes upstate, and it's like a totally different, it's just like, ooh, there's trees. So relaxing out here.
Nature.
Nature.
Yes. When you live in a city, you appreciate nature differently.
As much as you can.
Ballet or opera?
Ballet. Just to sit and watch this beautiful art form. Absolutely. Just takes your breath away sometimes.
Broadway or off-Broadway?
Broadway. I watched Chicago on Broadway, and I was like, and I was like maybe 6 rows back, so it was like right there. Oh, so good. It's always nice when you can almost see the sweat hit someone.
It is amazing sometimes, like the seat you get and how close you are to the actors. Yeah.
Crazy sometimes.
The Met or the MoMA.
Oh, the man, look at all that fashion that is, it's like lives inside of there. Just like endless amounts of just like every time you go there, there's something new, you know?
Yankees or Met?
Oh, Yankees. Yankees, Yankees, Yankees.
Why?
So Yankees for me is also because I used to live close to like the Yankee Stadium, and they just be going wild. I love going to the stadium and listening to that. Not huge in sports, but
Yeah.
I'll choose the Yankees.
Knicks or Nets?
Oh, go Nets.
Okay.
Nets 100%. I feel like they get such a bad rep. They get such a bad rep. I'm like, let the people be. It's just relax. I'm here for the Nets. Go Nets.
Bike or walk?
Bike.
Obviously.
I love a good bike ride.
Subway or taxi?
Take the subway. I'm just sure taking the subway the whole time, but I'll take the subway over the taxi any of the days.
Yes, because sometimes stuck in those traffic jams.
Yeah, stuck in the traffic jam. I'd rather be underground, you know, not really talking to anybody with the music on and just be like, woo-hoo.
Rats or pigeons?
Oh, God. Give me a pigeon any day. I can be like, okay, great. If I see a rat, I'm just like running. I can't. Like, get off, get away, go somewhere else.
And lastly, old I Love New York City logo or new We Love New York City logo?
You know, I love New York City. It's very like, I love New York City. I get why you want to say we love New York City. Yeah, but you can fucking we love New York City. I love New York City. And I'm going to stay with the first one.
Because it's like, it's such a sense of ownership.
Yes, it's like, it's about me. I love New York City. So like, yes, I'll get, you know what? That might be the next tattoo before I leave New York City.
Okay, so that wraps up the first part of the game. So the second is fashion hot takes. We're going to do a series of this and that, and you'll tell me what it is regarding to your personal style.
Okay. Regards to my personal style.
Yes.
Okay.
Button-up shirt or polo shirt?
Button-up shirt, so you can just button one button, and the rest is open.
Yes. It's a style.
Yeah, it's a style.
Henley shirt or t-shirt?
T-shirt. Love a good t-shirt, but it needs to be like at least 2 or 3 sizes too big for me. And then I'll crowd it into a crop top, so it's going to be great.
Turtleneck or crew neck sweater?
Turtleneck, but it needs to be a turtleneck with sleeveless turtleneck. So sexy. So sexy.
Okay. Hoodie or sweatshirt?
Hoodie, again, like 3 or 4 times oversized into a crop top. Yes.
Sports coat or blazer?
I love a good blazer, but the blazer needs to be like really just like tailored, nice little shirt underneath, open, because you know just the one button is going over there, and a nice little
A lot of celebrities in Asia, they're doing no shirt with just
which
a blazer.
I've seen
Oh
that.
my god, it's so.
And I'm like, that's actually very interesting.
It looks
Because
so.
if you get it a little bit like just a little bit higher buttoned up, that will
Not too oversized and not too tailored.
Yeah, it just needs to like kind of fit like almost like a shirt that's just maybe one size too big.
Yes.
Then it kind of looks like oversized too.
Yes.
I like that.
But it's proportional. It looks
Yes.
so good seeing that. A hooded Parker or peacoat?
Peacoat, listen, peacoat, very regal.
A skirt or short?
As I said, most of my shorts are like just a suggestion of a short, so I might as well put a skirt on. Skirt for sure.
Skinny jean or straight leg?
If I'm gonna do it, might as well be skinny jeans. Yeah, skinny jeans because I like bigger pants, but if I'm gonna do skinny, let it be skinny.
Cargo pants or chinos?
Oh, chinos with a nice little white shirt and some oh my goodness, brunch.
Yes. Track pants or joggers?
Joggers, so we can start with the sneakers. Sneakerheads out here.
Leather jacket or denim jacket?
Leather jacket 100%. Leather jacket with no shirt. Leather jacket with no shirt. Or leather jacket with like a little tank top that's like hanging all over the place. Leather jacket with just like some jewelry. Oh, leather jacket.
Fedora or beanie?
Beanie. Because you can do it a whole lot of different ways. You know, you can roll it up a little bit, then it's like that little tiny beanie. I bring it down and put it to the back, then it's to the side. So many different ways.
Baseball cap or newsboy cap?
Baseball cap 100%. But to the back with rhinestones on the front.
Loafers or Oxford?
Loafers. I like that. Real comfy. I have maybe one pair. Very comfy. Home shoes.
Sneakers or dress shoes?
Such a big range. Sneakers, because some of them can be worn as dress shoes.
Yes. Scarf or no scarf?
No scarf.
Briefcase or backpack?
Backpack. I'm riding a bike.
Plain belt or studded belt?
Plain belt goes with most things. Plain belt. Most of the time brown or black. Or tan.
Yes.
Tan is good too.
Aviator glasses or wayfair glasses?
Aviator. You didn't even have to say the second one.
Watch or no watch?
Watch, baby. Because my watch has my music. If my phone is dead, my watch has my music. Connect to my AirPods.
Solid color or patterned shirt?
I like a solid color, but patterns everywhere else.
Okay. Stripe or polka dot?
Polka dot. It just always looks nice when you turn and spin.
Solid colors or pattern socks?
Pattern song. Like, give me Bob the Builder, give me Bob's Burgers, give me Jurassic Park, all of those.
Cotton or linen?
Linen. Oh, it dries a lot quicker.
Yes. Wool or cashmere?
Cashmere sweater. Every day.
Silk or leather?
Silk feels nice against my skin.
Okay, so that wraps up our personal style.
Mm-hmm.
With so many people on social media nowadays, which platform do you prefer and why? And do you have any handle that you want to share so people can follow you?
Oh yeah. So for me personally, I like to do more Instagram. Twitter is a beast, and you can take it any way you want. Like, it's a beast. I don't like it. You can actually follow me at _ Marvin B Happy. Just the letter B, just like the B. Be happy. Or you can even follow the other girl, Mary _ Muscles. She's also really cute. Yeah, those are my two like Instagram handles that you can find me at. You'll see that it's like literally just bubbly, like what you see right now. Super chilled. Let's do some fashion. There's a lot of photos. Oh my god, a lot of photos. I take a lot of photos too.
But that's what's great about Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like a really good platform for me anyway. I don't necessarily doing it for money or like, you know, trying to get a big following. I'm doing it just to express, you know, like the things that I see, what I'm going through on a daily basis, maybe what that 99th person said to me on the train.
Okay, so that wraps up our episode. Thank you for doing this interview.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Stay tuned for more Threads and Tales of New York City. Thank you for tuning in to Threads and Tales of New York City podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date to the latest episodes. I look forward to exploring fashion, food, lifestyle of New Yorkers with you. Bye.
Thank you. That was so fun.